Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to talk about story writing and how you are going to write a story. Story. Stories are narratives that describe characters, tell events. You can find a story almost anywhere on television, in the book, or even in songs. Everyone enjoys a good fictional story because it transports us to a different place and let us experience new and unusual people and things. Most narrative stories have several basic elements. When you write your story, remember to include the following. So when you write, guys, I need you to focus on these elements in writing a story. As you can see here, we have characters, and we have plot, and we have setting, and we have the theme. So the first thing here that is a part of the story are the characters. So characters are the people described in a story. They're quoted. Conversations are dialogue. Of course, it could be animals too. If it's imaginative story, you can write animals. Okay. Uh, Plot. The plot is series of events that make up the story. It usually includes a conflict or central problem. So the plot always having, as I can write here, and we said that we have a conflict. Okay, like we can say we have conflict, and then we said we have a rising action. Okay, the rising action, and we said that we have climax. Okay, climax, and also we have a falling action. This is the climax, and we have falling action. Okay, and we have the resolution. Okay, which is the conclusion. Okay, these are the elements of a plot. Fine. The setting, of course, when we talk about the place and time where the story and when it took place. The theme is the story's overall message, okay, about life. Generally, we are taking or having lessons about life, about honesty, loyalty. These are themes for most of the stories. Key features. This is a part, okay, which is important that you know that you should have characters and events, dialogues, conflicts, and description. Okay? We have transition words that signal shifts in time or setting, precise words, descriptive details, and sensory language resolution that concludes and reflects on events. So the key features here, we said we have characters and we have the events, the dialogues, the same things that we said today. You should put in your mind to use descriptive details. Like if you are going to say, for example, he is a boy. No, you should tell me that he is a young, okay, tall boy, for example. Okay, young, tall boy. Okay, from where? And you say, for example, that he is from England. So these details are important in the story. And this is the part, guys, of the assignment that you are going to write. Here, you should write 2 to 3 page narrative story that includes a lot of action. It could be an action of suspense, a situation that you can never forget, okay? Something that happened at home, something that happened with you, with your friend, with your uncle. Maybe it's a funny situation that you never forgot, so you can talk about it in details. You can even use the quotations. Okay, quotations, guys, it means that the words that the person said. Like you can say, my dad uh, asked me, okay, or told me, and then you make here quotation and you say shut up. Okay, so this is the meaning of um, quoted quoted words. You say shut up. Okay, so these are the quotations. Great. And who are the audience? It means who is going to read your writing. It means your classmates. You are also, if it's to entertain, so you should entertain your friends. Okay, include at least 2 characters. You should put like you and your brother or sister or your father or mother, your friend, your teacher. Okay, put your mind to put all of these elements in your story. Okay, spark an idea. As we said, guys, you can have many ideas that you can generate lots of details from it. If children rule the world, sin. what will happen if the children rule the world? Okay, you can say they will play lots of video games. They will eat all the junk food from Kentucky or McDonald's, from all of these shops. Okay, if humans lived in space, what will happen? They will travel from planet to another planet. Okay, so I need you to think deeply, guys, and generate your ideas. This would be great. Pick your player. Choose the character of your story. Okay, the character, you have main character and you have minor character. The main character is the major rule in the story and are the focus. The characters here are the focus of most of the action. Like if you love your teacher, or if you have a teacher that you never forget, or his classes are wonderful, so he's gonna be the main characters. The minor characters here, okay, maybe some of the students, or maybe workers at schools, maybe some administrators, okay, maybe parents, okay. So it depends how you build your story, who is having a major rule and who is having a supporting role for the main character. And you should, when you are writing, you can make a character map. The character map, you ask yourself some questions. What character say and does he travels alone, and alone for the first time, for example? How the character looks, tall, and how old is he? 11 years old, lanky brown hair. You're describing his hair. You can describe also his skin. Okay. Character's name, his dad's name, his family name. What is the character thinks or feels, excited, nervous, what others think about him or her. Okay, all of these are important because they help you to write more details in your story. I need you guys to write more details. Don't just write for me 5 to 3 sentences. No, I need you to be creative writers. What's the crisis? As we say, guys, we should have a conflict. Okay, so the conflict or the problem that the main character will confront in the story, he will face it and he should solve it. Okay, so we have some internal conflicts, some internal problems. The main character struggles with him or herself. For example, the character may struggle with a negative personality trait or decision, okay, that is difficult to make. Someone, for example, is having difficulty to sleep alone at his room. Okay, he is having some conflicts in his mind. He thinks that there is a ghost there. So this is a kind of internal what? Conflict. It's all in his mind. Okay, external one, like you are ready to go out and suddenly it rained. So here there is a problem. It's gonna be person versus nature. Okay, so it's a conflict between two characters, or between a character and an outside force. Okay, such as climbing a mountain, and you are afraid to climb the mountain because it's very steep, for example. Okay. As we said here, when we set up the story, we should have a beginning and a middle and the climax and an end. Okay, the beginning of the story, you introduce the characters and the setting. The middle of the story, okay, like for example, if you go up the hill, so you feel like climbing up the hill in a roller coaster. Tension should build up you until you reach the climax or the turning point of the story. Maybe you are going to beat your fears, okay, and you're going to feel more confident if you climb the mountain. At the end, of course, if you did this adventure, you're going to feel with great happiness, right? So the end of the story, you resolve the main conflicts or the problem that you face. As we said, guys, you should have a title for the story, a theme, a setting, a plot, and characters. We have a model here, okay? As you see here in the model, as Romero climbed the board, he looked around the bus. I bet nobody's traveling because the weather is so bad. So you see here, guys, the weather is so bad. This is what, huh? What kind of conflict? Is it internal conflict or external one? Of course, it's external one. If the weather is bad and there's going to be rain, so it's external. It's going to be a person versus nature. He thought the only other people on the bus beside the driver were a middle-aged woman and a little girl. They watched Romero stroll down the aisle with his bag green duffel bag. So as you can see here, this is a characters introduced. Who are the characters? You have a driver, you have Romero, and you have a middle-aged woman and a little girl. Then you go into a dialogue, and dialogue makes it more interesting. Mommy, it's starting to rain. You see here? The girl said. Everything will be okay, the mother replied. You see, guys? So as Romero took his seat and stared out of his window, his mind began to wander. He was thinking about all the family members he hadn't seen in years. Then you start the conflict here. A loud thunderclap exploded in the sky, shaking the whole bus and waking Romero from his daydream. So you see, guys, how the events are created. You should follow the same example, creating your own characters and your own style of writing. And please, I need you to be good writers. Write a lot as you can, because I'm going to correct it and send it to you back, and we are going to learn from your mistakes. I wish you all the best, my dear students.